Hello, good morning. Hello, everyone. I would like to show you some preliminary results of our project we realized in the Dobużek Scarp, a small microregion. You can see that in the photo, and share with you some remarks about our GIS-based approach. But this approach was a very simple one. We used a different spatial information, so we need to the place to manage them, to store them, and to make some interpretations and share the data between different members of the project. Okay. Our research objectives. We interested in this area in late 2012 when we were interested, especially in the Lublin-Volhynian culture settlements. This culture is one of the most enigmatic cultures of Neolithic cultures that appears on Polish lands, and it's from the fifth or the turn of fifth and fourth millennium BC. Our knowledge about this culture is based mainly on finds from Złota from pre-Second World War era. You can see it here. The settlements were placed on very dominating landforms and were surrounded by ditches. And we asked ourselves that these ditches was a standard or was a rare model of spatial organizations for these settlements. We excavate during a 1 week survey. We excavate 3 sites, not excavate, but we surveyed three sites with magnetic survey, and one of them gave us a very messy results with very unclear informations. Second one, known from excavations, small scale excavations in Lastocki, showed us these red ones, maybe it's visible better, ditches around the central part of the hill, and we moved to another site in Nikulin in the Dobużek Scarp. It's showed here on the map, very close to the Ukrainian border. And how does it look? And according to different factors like environmental factors like very good soil conditions for agriculture, very good defense conditions because this scarp is over 40 meters high over the Huczwa river, which is somewhere here. This is a very, very amazing piece of the landscape. We thought that there is no chance that some people lived there in the past without any predictive modeling and studies. So a few hours later, when we surveyed with magnetics the small part of the hill, or one of the dominating forms, we recognized some pits and ditches as probably a part interpreted as anomalies interpreted as a pits and ditches. Next year we came again for 1 week, and we surveyed another areas, and we find not another ditches and pits, but also another enclosures. So we have 3 of them, one and second one, and third one, part of the third one. Our project, as a short timeline, our project, this area, or maybe this way, this area was first surveyed in 1978. It was a surface survey, fieldworking survey, and afterwards there were some small evaluation trenches, which gave some kind of results, but with not good estimated chronology of the pits or of the features found there. And we know that there are some Lublin-Volhynian cultures artifacts. So why we came there. And from 2012, we made first magnetic surveys, as I showed on the last slide, and small excavations on the scarp, which confirmed that these features found on the magnetic maps were V-shaped ditches, very typical for Lublin-Volhynian culture. During next years, without any funding, without no formal project, just came there for 1 week or 2 weeks between any other projects to survey small areas, to excavate small areas, to make field walking surveys on available fields, and that gave us another informations. And in 2014, we applied for funding, and in next year we got the funding from National Science Center of Poland, and project director is Tomasz Chmielewski from University of Gdańsk. So the aims of the project was mainly to preserve the area because all of the features were very heavily destroyed. There was lots of, for example, of human remains just on the surface. So we just try to understand and recognize what was happening there, when and where and how does it look. So our plans were very ambitious. So we decided to make over 50 hectares of magnetic surveys, precise surface survey on over 100 kilometers, and some excavations, over 40 hours of excavation. So it was over 20 trenches, I think, in different parts of the area. Different spatial data that we use. Some of them we use in this pre-project stage as a preparatory works. For example, archaeological records, thematic maps, airborne laser scanning data, and freely available imagery from satellites and planes. And some data we collect during the project, of course, mainly fieldworking data and magnetic measurements. Some UAV photos taken usually just to record the works or make photogrammetric models, and lots of data from excavations which are during processing now. I need to say that was a very amazing moment in archaeology in Poland, because maybe not only in Poland, because lots of this data became just available, like LiDAR data. In 2013, the LiDAR were available for whole country. So we got the very accurate models of the landscape, and we use them as a base maps mainly, and for looking for some features in different areas of this place. And as well, different hardware, different equipment became available for us, because when we start, we had just a total station and we work in local grid. That was very time consuming to place a grid on the site to make some measurements. Afterwards, we have a GPS RTK, so everything goes faster. Some remote sensing data, you know how it works, so it's obvious. So we use different visualizations of LiDAR data. Those data are available freely for Poland, are available in GeoPortal or WMS layers. But if you want to more precise data, you have to buy tiled point clouds. So we reclassify them, we generate different kinds of visualizations and they were usually useful mainly for forested areas. For example, like here, we mapped some Celtic fields, we mapped some burial mounds, and we verify them on the field afterwards. Aerial and satellite imagery we use mainly for estimating how this land is used. Map some geological features, because geology of less soils is very complicated very often, and to make some nice pictures for presentations. For example, unfortunately, the resolution of those data was too low to mark a single soil marks or single crop marks, so it was limited to larger structures. And we know that those pictures wasn't taken especially for archaeologists, so that they were taken in different periods of the year. Not this one. We expect to recall some marks. Okay. Our GIS specialist, which is absent here, is on the stage of digitalization of different kinds of data for different participants of the project. For environmental specialists, for archaeologists, we produce a lot of different base maps. We have to digitize our archaeological records. So we are still before the data processing stage, because chronology, for example, estimation of our surface finds are still under processing, so it's very time consuming. So there's a few examples of what we did.
this part is some short introduction, because how the evidence of archaeological sites in Poland looks. There's a program which started in the late 70s called Archaeological Picture of Poland, or sometimes it's called Polish Archaeological Records. It's mainly based on the paper maps, sheets, A4 sheets of paper, when Poland was cut to the small tiles to fit a 24,000 map to A4 piece of paper. And archaeologists during fieldworking surveys mark some sites on the maps. They mark the appearance of pottery or flint tools on the surface, not exactly separate chronological periods or periods of occupation. So that's for protection. It's fine, but some information appears in about chronology appears in the description of the each site. But sometimes, as I thought, archaeologists try to be more precise, so they decide to place lots of smaller areas, smaller polygons on the maps that are large, huge sites of a wider area. So in this case, in our scarp, we have few smaller areas which are identified as archaeological sites. That's the state when we started the project. We knew just about few potentially archaeological sites. After our first fieldworking surveys, we modified these polygons. The light green color shows the results after our first seasons there. So we use just pieces of paper or printed Google Earth maps or something like that, and use our cell phones to navigate on this terrain to map a single feature, single shards of pottery on the ground. And afterwards, we decide to build a more precise model of surface material. So we use the same grid that we use for magnetic prospection. We divide it into smaller grids and collect materials from each separate 5-meter grid. So it was very time consuming, but 2 weeks were enough to cover the whole area. So as you can see, all the data are a little different. So that gave us different questions. We discussed about this a lot. So we use in theory the same methods, but with different results. What kind of information we got? Intense settlement zones or intense plowing of the fields? Start with, do we have sites with good huge research potential, or have destroyed? Yep. So there's also questions. From larger area, we use GPS receivers and to record a track and record single finds. Each piece of pottery was recorded, and few 5-person team usually use 4 GPSs and 1 mobile tablet with Locus GIS Pro to manage the group, to check that everything is fine and that everything is that whole area was surveyed correctly. After the day, all the data goes to GIS, to QGIS, and we use heat maps to highlight the areas which were full of surface finds. At this moment, we just mark some areas where something was happening in the past, not concrete archaeological sites connected to the chronology or with the culture. So part of this data is still under estimation of chronology. Magnetic prospection took over 2 or 3 weeks. This area that was over 50 hectares, so it was over 500 kilometers to walk with the equipment. We used 2 Bartington rods, a very common, well-known instrument. And as you probably see on the picture, we have 3 enclosures. One is here, second one is here, and third one is here. Something is happening here as well. This pattern, this different polygonal pattern, is probably something natural. Okay, so first moving to the west side, we have 2 enclosures, double ditch. Second one two double ditched, and there's another part of the site. This part is a little younger. Those are connected with a Lublin culture. Those with funnel-based culture. We know that from surface materials and excavations as well, because we excavate partially different parts of the scarp, and we have some V-shaped ditches, as I said before, and some U-shaped ditches of younger phases. On the eastern side, we have also a very big enclosure with 3 ditches surrounding. This enclosure was visible a little on a Google Earth imagery, but was visible when you know that there is there. So, and there's a small annex here on the western side. We have some questions about surface survey before magnetic survey, because there was a very hard line here. So there was a one field in the same field conditions. So we think why that's happened. Why this line is very northwest, and the answer comes from magnetic survey. Just the line is here. So the surface material is mainly on the center part, not on the annex part. There was lots of whole scarp was a funerary area. The human remains were recorded everywhere in the trenches, on the surfaces of the surface. Some of them we mapped very accurately with GPS RTK. As you can see here, this line is a step between 2 fields, and the left field is a half meter lower than the right field. So the features and as well these human remains are completely destroyed. So only most preserved here. As well, we have some long barrows maybe, and some round barrows recorded in different parts of this area. We also survey some kinds of some places in surroundings of this area based on the surface surveys. We choose some places to check. We record some different features. Some of them were very enigmatic. For example, here we use aerial imagery which show us a very nice circular feature. Very close to this place is a probably Neolithic burial mound, so we thought that maybe another one destroyed. In the center of that, we have some ferrous anomalies. It looks like maybe a small castle, small stronghold. But the local knowledge was very helpful here, because that's a natural feature, and that's the place where there was a small wooden house with some equipment inside. We also try to make some analysis. As you can see here, the area of the scarp is full of occupations. It's on the previous slides. But the area around this, in this place, in the central part of that, is totally free. It's totally clean. It's totally. We surveyed that 2 times, and there was no material on the surface. So that's probably some kind of special area, maybe used for agriculture, or, but free of settlements. To evaluate our protection purpose, there's no general rule to draw a site or on a Polish archaeological record. So we decide to overlay with 10 meter buffer each anomaly which were understood as archaeology, or probably archaeology. So almost hold the scarp, looks like one large site. So combination of different techniques, very simple one, the simplest one, and combination of interpretation of different sources gave us, especially gave us the opportunity to touch not the feature scale, not the trench scale, side scale, but on the real landscape scale, to understand the landscape. There's lots of work before us, but we have some information about this area now. And the secondary issue is that from unknown place, out of registry, out of protection, during a few weeks of different actions there, we changed his role, his status to the place of extra-regional position. So that was another thing that reached our state of knowledge about this area and this culture as well. Okay, thank you so much for your attention.